Welcome to the External Events page. The External Events page allows you to create events where you can then copy and paste the event link and paste it on your external public website. So let's review how to create a new event. You'll notice here that there are several tabs to the right of New Event. External Events, which shows you the events that you have already created. My Events, any events that you are managing or a part of. Registrations, event registrations will show up here and you'll get a list of them for people who have checked in. Attendance for your external events will show up here as well for those who are registered and are in attendance. And then last but not least, web forms. Web forms is also another type of external event that we'll cover here shortly, but it gives you the ability to create forms on your public website and have people complete information and capture that information. So let's go back to new event, specifically a new external event. So let's say you're going to type in a name here. It's going to be Group Volunteer Training Day. This is going to be your event, and a description could be something simple like a full day dedicated to training our volunteers in the areas of safety. And I misspelled training, so we'll go ahead and fix that. Now the event will start, for an example, on Monday the 29th, and we'll put here 5:30 p.m. The event will end on Monday the 29th, much later. It's going to be 7 p.m. to be exact. So we put the start time, we put the end time here, and then if we want to have a nice title color, we can just click here, select the color of the title. It could be anything we like. It could be red, could be blue, etc. And then that will be the title color of the name that we have. And then the font size would also be a color that or a size that we determine. In this case, 48 would be the font size. If you want to upload an image, you can click here and upload an image for your event, and that will serve as the background image. Then let's say you're going to receive payments for this event. You don't have to, but if your event requires payment, then you would basically select the one fund ID where all of the revenue is going to go to. So let's say this is going to go to community development. So everything that you collect for this will go and be associated with your community development fund. Obviously, if you don't need to collect money, then you don't need to worry about the fund ID. So by adding groups, you can add one or more groups quickly. Outreach ministry there. You can also invite the marriage ministry, Marriage Matters. If you wanted to invite users, you can invite one or more users easily. And then if you want them to get a notification as soon as you save this event, you can click on email notification or text notification, and they will get one or the other. Actually, in this case, they will get both, depending on what you click. So if a payment is required, it's already defaulted. The question is, do your volunteers pay? If they do not pay, just leave it unchecked. If they do pay, you click here. And then you have your event cost. So one would be the standard. Let's say gold. That would be $100. And then you want to have the second one, silver. These are different packages. That would be $50. And then you can have the bronze. And the bronze would simply be $25. Okay? Now, once you have that information, again, you can have up to 15 different event costs. Then what you want to mark here, if you would like their information, is when they register to give you their email. If it's a children's event, you would mark here. If not, you allow it. if you say, hey, I'd like these people to have the ability to pay in a recurring payment fashion. Now, if you're integrated with one of our payment partners, talk to us to make sure this is something that is readily available for your specific module. But let's assume for our purposes that it is. You would select recurring payments and say, okay, this is going to be something that we're going to charge them basically every month for a period of one time. Okay, so once a month we're going to charge them, and that's how we're going to collect the money. Or the recurring count can be for 10 months or for a year. That's the amount of times that we're going to charge their credit card, the amounts here that are selected, depending on what they select. Now, if you need to add additional dynamic fields, you would do that here. And static fields, you would do that here. So, this is just information. You can put here, register before end of day. And then here you can put in a field name to put, are you a sponsor? Okay. And then the value could be, yes or no. And then you can save this. Now, once you save this, you're going to notice community team training is part of your external event. So it automatically shifts it from a new event to an existing event. So you have the start time, you have the end time here, and then you have the action column. There's a couple of things that you can do once you get to this action column. If you click here, invite, then basically you can select one and invite selected, or you can invite all. You can click here and just invite all, and then they will get an email notifying them about their invitation. So let's go back a minute to external events. The next thing you can do is edit your event. If you want to come back here and edit your event, then you can edit the information. Now remember, we talked about the link for your website. So you can come here and right click, copy the link, and I'm just going to paste this on a new page so you can see what it looks like. And then this is what it would look like. Okay, they can tweet about the event, they can share it, they can put it on LinkedIn or Facebook, etc. And if they say, hey, this is the community team training, great, let's buy tickets. All right, so here you have all of the information. If they are new to your organization, they can just click here and they can add themselves as a new user. But again, you have their first name, middle name, last name, cell phone, and they have the information here. And then you can basically say, okay, this person is going to register as a participant. So let's say this is John Franco, and he's not going to put his information here, and he's going to register as a participant. Just an example. Well, it's going to ask him for his primary cell phone. And then as he tries, okay? So let's go ahead and register that information here. And then that'll take us to the next page, and it already registered him for the event. Okay? So these are basic things, and again, he's a volunteer in this case, so you don't have to worry about payment. But if you did, then you can get that information from them relatively quickly. So let's go back again, just as an overview on what we did. We created an external event. We were able to see how to invite people, how to edit the information, how to check in. So when a person comes in, for an example, you can type in their name. And in this case, you have to match the name with the people that we put into the software. Okay? That's very, very important. So once a person checks in, then you basically initiate check-in, and the information will come here on the bottom. So that's what you can do. You can just enter the information, and that person should come up as soon as they're there. Now in this case, we didn't really register anyone except for that one person. And once they get the information on their phone, they can basically scan in their information here and use a scanner, or you can manually check them in. So if we come here to the event, Community Team Training, and we look here to see, okay, John Franco and John Wilbur, they are users. Now they have to respond, so you can basically register them to the event. Okay, so now you can see here's John's information. John is part of the community training event. He's registered already as a participant. So that's why he didn't come up under the registration. But basically, once you have that information and you check them in, you can delete the information if you need to. But if they're not in the system, you can check them in manually or through the barcode. So again, this information here is primarily going to show what happens when they go to the external form that you see here. And again, for this event here, you have this external form. You right click it, copy, paste it on your website, and that's what they are going to see. So that is how you can come and manage your external events and create these events to help your team and register for events, whether they're paid events or whether they're free events. You can fill out all of this information and you can get this information quickly as soon as they register. And again, when you go to attendance, you can measure the attendance as soon as they register and export this information as needed. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you can create and register many people for your events.